to Magathea Builder Worlds. This is part 2 of my Necromunda Patreon Escher hair salon slash tattoo parlour slash chem lab build. Yes, it is. If you've already enjoyed part 1, then carry on watching this. If you haven't seen part 1, then you might not have done, because you might have actually had other things to do during Christmas and members of your family didn't allow you anywhere near social media and YouTube and that kind of thing. You didn't even know it existed. Go watch episode 1 first of all. This episode is coming to you because it wasn't going to be a 2-part video, it was going to be a 1-part video, but as is often the way, I leaped in, dived into making a video, made loads and loads of footage, realised that actually way into it that I got more footage than I needed, so I made episode 1. I stopped it artificially because I actually got way beyond that. So the first episode, actually I really quite enjoyed it. It was about working out how the model was going to work, the kind of like how it worked on the tabletop and that kind of thing. Hang on, wait, what? Hang on, you didn't know I did Patreon builds? Well, where have you been? I've done a couple already in 2024, but if you didn't know, people who support this channel through Patreon at patreon.com/Magathea Builder Worlds can enter competitions 2 or 3 times a year with an idea for a piece of scenery they build. A 12-inch by 12-inch by 12-inch piece of scenery. Cool, inspiring for any system they like, and they send it to me, and the one that I like and think would be the most fun to do, I kind of like have a go at doing. I make it for them and then I give it to them. It's been a really cool way of producing some really neat bits of scenery for different game systems. Some that I play, some that I don't. And it's been a cool way of rewarding my patrons for supporting this channel, and made some cool content, I think, for the channel as well. So this Patreon build is for a chap called Will, who came up with the idea for a Necromunda build, an Escher hair salon and tattoo parlour at the front, and then a chem lab out the back where they're making all the stuff. And it intrigued me. I thought it was kind of whimsical, had cool ideas, and I'm really pleased that I made this for him, because it kind of made his Christmas apparently. Happy New Year, Will, if you're seeing this video. I hope the rest of your year goes a little better than you're expecting it to. This build actually I've really quite enjoyed so far, and more so than some of my other Necromunda builds recently, because it's taken me back to where I kind of started, with a 12-inch by 12-inch square and doing loads of fine details and nitty-gritty. It's cool. It is, because it's Escher, especially a very whimsical kind of build. So if you want to see how it kind of like finished off, this is the video you need to watch, because this is the one where we put all the details in, all the ideas, all the stuff that takes it from just a zone mortalis tile. Well, it didn't end up being a zone mortalis tile, did it? But a 12-inch square bit of terrain. It takes it from that with a bunch of Necromunda plastic into something that's got loads of character and whimsy. So I reckon we ought to get on with the build. Come on, check it out over here. Okay, where did we get to last time? Well, last time we got to the model looking like this. This video really starts with me having just gone digging through the cack, yeah, for small, or starting to find the components, all the little bits, all the small bits, all the really cool fun bits, all those bits that niggle around in the bottom of the plastic crate. You know, in plastic crates, where some clever designer has made a bit that stacks, so you always get little dips and troughs. Yeah, you always got really cool little bits of cack just sat in there, don't you? You have to go digging right down for the cack, right down there, in there, right down for the cack to find that kind of stuff there. I've just done some of that. I'm going to get on with some more. So let's pick up this build right from there. Do it now. Let's go. Alright, so I've got buckets, I've got chests, I've got things that I can make shelves out of, which are going to be quite important. This is the back side of it, so I want some shelves up on the side here, going in there, that I can put stuff on, bottles of unguent, that kind of thing, tools and things. I need at least one chair. Do you know what? I can't remember what this is from. It's kind of funky. I think it must be something like Kill Team. But if I trim all this cack off here, there's a chair in there which would work quite well that I can have set up. Might even see if I'm sure I've got another one somewhere. I could have 2 of those maybe. Then I could have 2 chairs in my salon. The tattooist slash hairstylist can work around. Then I need, yeah, different things that they might use to dispense stuff from. Yeah, like I said, I've got I'm going to have a unit going in the corner, and then I've found 2 or 3 of these. Where are they gone? Oh, come on, you little beggars. No, guns, holsters, all kinds of money packs. The fuck? There we go. I found 2 or 3 of these, which are chaos speakers, I think, of some kind. So we're going to have a kicking, banging stereo system hanging up, lights and bits and pieces. So that's my first mission. And then downstairs, outside, I've got workbenches and all kinds of just tiny little bits of cack that I'm going to be able to make stuff out of. I've got various. Hello. Just fucking drop that. Whoops. I've got various little curious beasts and pots and all kinds of things. So this is Warhammer Quest spiders, and then crates and tools, and so I'm just going to have a fiddle really and see what I can come up with. We'll start with the shop, the actual hairdressers, and see where we go. First of all, I'm going to trim up this chair, see what I can do. I'm going to take a pair of clippers to this, and viciously cut off the sides there, and then see if I can cut out some of this back as well, so we've got more of a chair that a customer will be able to sit in. I'm assuming that this could kind of like tilt up and go back and that kind of thing. So we're going to cut that out. I'm not going to stick it in place straight away because I'm going to be able to work things around it, but it'll be quite cool. If it goes, kind of goes in this window area here, so people can sit here, see out. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Right, so that's what we're going to do. We'll have a look in a second when I get bits that I'm sticking in. Alternatively, before I start digging into that, it would be quite sensible if I dive into the orange organised cack up here. I might be able to find a few more things I can pull out as well. That might give me chairs and various other bits and pieces in there too. So let's do that. Let's get the drawers down. Check that out first. Good idea, Tim. First choice, first decision. I've changed my mind on this. I've forgotten. I have a number of different sci-fi benches here, and one of those, even if I cut it down to not be quite so big. Where's the bloody hairdresser's gone? I could put 4 seats or 3 seats into this model. Nice and easy across the back there, look. That'll be easy, and then I can actually put something behind it, and that way there I've got easy seats. So I'm very pleased all straight away that I've dived into this set of drawers here. That just gives me tables and units. This one says sci-fi furniture on the front. I've got one here that says control panels. I've got a number of those being used anyway, but I've got another one that says crates, all kinds of different crates and barrels and stuff. They'll be kind of cool downstairs. They're sci-fi ship bits, ship bits, and sci-fi trim there. And in one that just says interesting sci-fi clot, which I really need to start filling up. What I need to do is that collection of junk that I found a moment ago, when I'm done with it, I need to start putting it away in here. Make the whole thing so much easier to find things in. It really, really does. Which speeds up the making the models. It actually goes to prove my mum right. The ghost of my mum is now laughing at me already. When I was a kid, she spent hours often sorting out my Lego into different colours. She spent hours sorting out Lego into different colours and different boxes because she said it made the models much better. And we can make much better models much quicker. She might have been right, apart from the fact she missed the social contract side of Lego about 2 people working together to build a thing and looking for the individual things. But this is all about efficiency, speeding up my model making. So I'm definitely going to use a bench like that, either a 4-seater or a 3-seater. And then I'm going to carry on looking for some other stuff and start sticking shelves and things in. With this kind of thing, I find you just got to dive in and start making decisions, sticking stuff on. In here, the back. This back section here, where are we? Back here That's really cool. That needs shelves up there and stuff on it really quickly, because that will help set the tone. Right, let's settle on a seat, and then get stuff stuck on. Yeah, let's do that. Oh look, there's a really nice canopy there. Different size. No good for this model. Oh, in a plastic bag. Look, there's a tattooist seat if ever I saw one. God damn, where did that come from? Whose set of models is that from? Look at that, look at that, look. Isn't that cool? I mean, that if that isn't made for having somebody sat in to tip back and do their hair and have tattoos on, I don't know what is. Right, okay. Good, cool. Good chat. Right, let's put this away and get some more bits out. All kinds of shit. Now this is not at all really Necromunda, but I might do this anyway. Look, this is a magazine rack from Terrain Crate Shopping Mall. I might have a set of magazines stacked up in the edge of the hairdressers, so when the Escher ladies come to have their hair done, they've got a little set of magazines they can read. That's kind of cute. You know, Bolt Gun Monthly, that kind of thing. Articles to how to look after your fear cat, and yeah, it'll be great. Okay, first thing I'm doing then is I'm going to stick a shelf, like I said, in this back bit here. And I'm going to use handy angle shelf kind of brackets, pretty much, from the Necromunda marketplace. There we go, those dudes. I'm going to cut them off, stick them under, and using that bit, which I think that comes from the old landing pad model that got used a long time ago. So I'm going to cut these bits off here. I'm going to turn it upside down anyway. I'm not actually going to use the scully bit, but I am going to use those brackets off that marketplace. Trim that up. Concentrate. It's nearly Christmas. Don't stick the knife in you. Piss blood all over the place. Have to go casualty. Gotta go before the Christmas tomorrow. Good. Two little brackets. These are really handy. I mean, they're exactly what I want. They're literally shelf brackets. It's like getting IKEA kit. This nice. Two of those on. As soon as I've got a shelf on, then I can start putting cack on there. I've decided to use a shelf with stuff on it. I'm using this chair, which I can't remember where it came from, but I think, I don't know. It's a kind of like secret agent bad guys command center command chair thing, probably from Crooked Dice, I would imagine. Check them out if you don't know Crooked Dice. Go and have a look for Crooked Dice stuff. There's lots of cool stuff they do, some of which is very suitable for Necromunda. This is definitely the kind of like the customer's chair. And then I'm going to cut up two of these, cut up this bench, so I've got these two here, and I'm going to have them stuck against this wall here. We like the kind of like the waiting place. It's just like a proper hair salon, and I'm going to have a magazine rack next to it, because just why wouldn't you? So right, I think the easiest way to do this actually is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be stick the bracket to the model, stick it on the wall, or stick, yeah, it's got to be stick it on here, isn't it really? Right, let's trim that, apply plenty of polystyrene cement so I can move it around and get it stuck on. One, shit, lost the other one already. Oh fuck, that's both of them on now. I've lost both fucking things. How's it going, Tim? It's going really well. You dropping plastic? Yeah, all over the sodding workshop. How much? Oh, all of it. Oh, good. Right, okay. Well, there's one. I mean, there are other things down here. That's not what I want, but cool. Neither is that or that, but let's pick them up anyway, because they're on the floor. Yeah. Hey, how's it all working out tonight? Yeah, really good. Right, there's the bracket I want. Did I cut another one off? Oh, it didn't come off the sprue, that's right. Trim it up, apply glue, stick it on the model. You really don't need to see me do that bit. We'll have a look at that in a second. Put some Sabaton back on. Yeah, let's rock. Okay, don't know how easy to see this is now. Right, go speakers in place, shelf in place. Luckily, everything can be stuck to it. Otherwise, I mean, it's completely on the piss, and everything will be falling off, I think. But I mean, it's not dissimilar to a bit of DIY in my house, really. But that's going to be held in nicely in place, and I'm going to be able to start sticking things on it, which is cool. And then I've cut my waiting bench up into 2 seats. I've got my magazine rack ready to go in next to it. I mean, well, if I had like forever and a day to do this, I would actually paint most of these elements separately. Well, I won't be offended if you add more paint to this model when you get it, but I'm going to carry on from it. So look, I've got that up there. I'm going to put this power box thing on the wall. It could be the colour, the stereo unit, really. Let's have that there over the back. It's really, in this case, just adding a whole bunch of detail to the model. Just make it more interesting. Get it beyond that. Oh look, it's yet another piece of scenery made with a cargo container. I mean, Workshop, when they made this cargo container, I don't think they realised what they'd kind of like produced. It's a piece of genius scenery, really. It's really, really cool. That's nice, that fits in there really well. Fits on there, that's good. Okay, so, and I could do a low down shelf as well at the back. Not as deep as that one. Let's see what we got, bits of plastic work. I could always cut something up, top of a cabinet, a Cheshire or something, would work real well there. It just needs to be thin so I can lay a number of different tools on it. We need product, it needs to have product on there that the tattoo artist or the hairdresser is going to use, kind of thing. So I think I'm going to slice that down in half. Yeah. That loses the battery on this camera now, so you might see this. I need a steel rule. I need to not chop my fingers off. I need to not do much more this evening because I'm going to go to bed in a few minutes because I've got to get up and be Father Christmas tomorrow. Again, 3 days to go. This is currently being filmed on the evening of the 20th of December. I was hoping to have this done and up for Christmas Eve. We'll have to see if that happens. I really want to get a bunch more videos produced for this channel. It's been really frustrating recently. Not getting stuff get done, but I need to get more disciplined as well, I suppose. I kind of lost my way a little bit, really. I think lost a bit of impetus, but making some Necromunda models has really helped me get my mojo back a little bit, and I've got a plan now for the start of the new year for a whole bunch of stuff I want to make. Right now, of course, the cool thing about making this kind of model, where we're kit bashing entirely with Workshop plastic, is we can use poly cement on the plastic to make welds that will stick real good. So that's on there. I'm going to leave that on there for a few minutes, then I'm going to apply that to the wall, and then that's going to have stuff stuck on it. Really cool. It's not really complicated doing this kind of thing. It's really, really neat. I like it. I might hang some skulls. Should we hang some skulls outside? Hell yeah, let's do that. That'll be pretty neat. Just because we can. Old school chaos stuff. Can't even remember what it's off, but it does look neat. And these ladies, well, you know, never can trust an Escher, can you really? So we're going to hang that there like that outside. If nothing else, again, it will give us interesting textures to paint. Interesting details to pick out. Yeah, apply more glue. Lose the battery. We'll see what that looks like in a few minutes. Of course, the problem with Mantic terrain crate scenery is it's not made from polystyrene that you can kind of like weld, so this is going to have to be super glued in, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but hey ho. Let's stick that in, and a magazine rack next to it. I think I'll put the magazine rack on this end just because it's easier to get to. It's kind of cool. Or I might put it up, might mount it on the wall, I think. If I could do that, get rid of this bit there because that'll save a bit of space. One of the things I love about making these models is that, and I haven't done it for ages, so thanks Will. I mean, even my recent Necromunda builds have been big builds, and I haven't focused on the little details, and I had so much fun making this hairdresser. Making a hairdresser is bloody ridiculous. But look, loads of detail in here now. I don't know how well you see this. There's the seats here for the waiting clients, and then on the back over here there's a shelf with tools and a little screen, and then in the top end here there's another shelf with various bottles of unguents and bits and pieces, and a crate down the bottom with a couple of mugs on. We can see that through that side window, I think, can we? No, not really, is the answer. But then I'm playing with the roof as well, because this is the roof of the container. Let's just come back out of that. Here's the roof of the container, and it should just drop in there like that, which is kind of cool, and it will finish up quite nicely. But this is in the underhive, and the underhive has got a roof somewhere, and I don't want it to all look neat and tidy. I have got a ceiling fan, which is, this is a propeller blade from a Cadron Overlord thing. But I was thinking what might be cool is if I cut off the roof at this end here, I can then stick this canopy on, which will stick out a little bit out of there. I'll stick the canopy on permanently into this slot like that. That's kind of cool. And then I'm going to cut this bit of roof off, and that bit of roof will be removable. So I'm going to stick something on the top of this, so to make it easy to lift off and on. Not sure what. Probably put it on the hatch here, because that's the fans on there anyway. So this could do with some kind of fan assembly. If I have a fan like that on the top maybe, and then that will give something to take it on and off with. But I'm going to cut this bit off, which is kind of cool, and then I'm going to use that canopy there, which will butt up against this. Let's give it a go. Right, I've kind of hampered myself a little bit though, because I've already stuck this bloody bit on, so be careful here because I'm leaning on the edge of the desk. And the cool thing about kit bashing is the bit of the roof that I'm cutting off now, this bit of container, can be used somewhere else. It's great. So that just goes back in the cat box. There we go. There's my bit of roof there. That's as far as I'm going to get tonight, and I'm going to cut stick. I think I'm going to put this bit on permanently. I think it might be quite neat. Although, yeah, because it's going to be a real bugger to try and make it part of that roof section. So, stick that in there. Stick that on. That'd be kind of cool. And then we've got a bit of hashed up roof there, really, which is kind of nice. Let's see what that looks like. He says making it awkward for himself to paint again. But again, this is going to get a nice tabletop looking paint job, and Will's welcome to go back to it. You could probably unpick bits of it. So if I get my paint, if I stick that on permanently now, the problem with that is that it's going to prevent me getting the brush inside the model. So a bit of forethought here would be that either I do stick it onto this bit, which actually would be a really easy fix. There's a lot of space there for those two bits to glue and weld together, and that will make that roof section all one piece, which will lift off, and then that way there I can get inside the model to paint. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to make this a permanent part of the building model. I'm going to make it, going to attach it to this roof section here with some lovely polished cement to seal it and to weld it all together. And this is the last bit I'm doing before I go to bed tonight, because I've got to get up and go do Father Christmassy things tomorrow. Hurrah, hurrah. I'm so happy about that idea. So should we have one that's got an air vent, or should we just have, no, let's have a top bit that sucks the air in there. Let's stick that on like that. That'd be cool. Right. Okay. Glue, 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 glue. Oh, I love polystyrene cement. And the glue models it's supposed to go with, it's fab. Plenty of that, don't shirk on that. Nice. Right, so that's the following night. Here is the hairdressers come tattooists. And I'm really pleased with this. I'm not going to add any more to it for the moment. There's plenty of detail inside, as seen a few moments ago. I have added a barricade here around the outside and a bit of a railing there and a ladder down to the floor. That's going to be inside the kind of like the chem yard. It's kind of neat. I did make one error, which is I stuck this bit of roof together and left it on the model last night, which meant, of course, it welded in the middle and stuck. So I had to go at it and peel it out. But that works quite nicely there. That's kind of cool. I quite like that. And we've got this kind of like soft roof over that end of the model, which is quite neat now. Good, which is cool. That sits just here. And what I really need to do now is work on, and I left this out separately, of course. This evening's job on 21st of December, heading towards Christmas, is to work on some elements down here. In where we've got essentially the work going on with the chemicals. I think the first thing I need to do, to be quite honest though, is find some cardboard and put some flooring in here. So floor tiles, if nothing else, relatively square. Put just some textures that I can stick things on, and then I'm going to use more of the stuff that I selected. Look, I've got workbenches and a table and various other bits and pieces I've got to put in here, and more cack. We need cages for creatures, and we need extraction things and plants, and I've got weird stuff of other scales like these. I think these are mines from kind of, what's it called, Battlefield Gothic kind of thing. I think they're going to be some kind of odd plant that's getting crushed up, and I've got, yeah, got to work that out. But basically I want to do this bit so it's separate. Get my hands in here much better. I'll probably paint this whole section separately again, so I can hold this and get my brushes in easier than trying to paint it all on the board. So I'll place that, and then we're going to get on. We'll try to work this bit. This part of the roof here, of course, is loose, so we can take this door out, and I've got to make sure that I don't stick things in here thinking, oh, that's part of the wall. It's not, it's a door. And this is still also loose as well. This is quite cool. I haven't stuck this in yet, which means that I can actually take this out. I'm going to stick shelves or workbenches or something on here, I think. I might try and find the window inserts that go in here. That would involve more digging through the cack, we'll have to see. But definitely some workbenches here with yeah. And having this out like this means that it's much easier for me to handle and work with. I've deliberately left all the lids off these because I do want to fit in. I've binned that original light idea. I'm going with a bottle garland light rig. There we go, there's one over here. One of these. And I think I'm going to make it purely so it just sits inside one of these boxes. And I'll cut out some tracks for the cables to come out. And then when it's ready, I'll run it underneath this walkway. So we've got light here, and then through here, and then maybe underneath. Some way of getting it across here and then into this one, or don't know, or up into the shop, or I might go the other way around. The problem is this gap over here, which I've decided needs to stay open. I might just force that door closed. I could do that. Pretty sure. Have I stuck that on him? Either way round, I'd like to have light running around most of this model. It could sit in here, go up there, through the hairdressers, into this one somehow. Yeah, we'll have to work that out. Or I might just have it go crisscross back across the yard. That might also be a simple solution, not have to fanny around with all of this stuff. Yeah, okay, right, let's do it. Right, one window found. I'm going to carve that out, stick that in. Apart from anything else, it means that I've got a bit more solid water to play around with. So does that stick on? Yeah, go on that side. Stick in that side. I don't bloody know. I'm guessing that sticks in. So I'll do it like that. That's good. That gives me a solid wall here. Extra bit, so I'm going to do that. Glue. Go. Across there. Will of course make the back side of this Escher location pretty hard to crack, but it's going to look neat, so I don't care. I'm not having to play against it. Right, so it's quite neat because I've now got a shelf here and need a workbench under there. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, whilst digging through the cack, I did find this, which is a chair which must be from, I don't bloody know, Kill Team or something else, but I think it's Kill Team because I had one with Road Traders and things, and which I've got, and I've cannibalised all the furniture scenery from. So I think I'm going to use this one in the parlour, tattoo parlour, because it's probably made from the right kind of plastic to stick in there. All right, I'm going to save that other one, that Crooked Dice one, for something else because that's resin and that will work better somewhere else. So right, okay. So anyway, let's get rid of the baseboard for the minute. Just set about this piece first of all. I need something that's going to make up a workbench to sit on there. I need other bits and pieces. See, again, I could just stick loads of details on this, so it doesn't really matter. There's a little fire extinguisher that could stick in there. One of these funky power unit things from the Necromunda Marketplace might sit up there quite nice. But I could do stuff that sits below that, and I want to use things on the edges. One of the things I have got is some bombs from an old Orc war, from an Orc bomber aircraft, which I think will make quite good kind of, if I cut them up right there, I don't know, some kind of liquid canister, cut the cross bit off the top, stick that in the side. Really need a desk, work surface. It's got to be, I think it's going to have to be more lids from crates. They work really well. Oh shit, I've got one from the other night. I'll cut one off. Yeah, let's do that. Cut that out and then see where we are. I need to make a cage as well. That's another thing I need to do. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, okay. I'll come back to you when I've got this little bit done and we'll talk it through. I was going to come back just right now, but I've discovered that if I take these these crate boxes, lids, I can actually turn them up this way so they're flat, and the nature of where they lock on, they actually fit on really neat to this bit here, which is going to give me loads of purchase to glue on. I can lower it down to kind of like a decent workbench height, glue across there. I'll have a gap in the middle, which is fine, but I can put one on each side. Kind of cool. I could do that. That's really neat. Hey, it's great when these kind of like these things rather serendipitously, that's the word, kind of work for you, really. You know, it's just supposed to be. When things like that happen, you know, it's like, the trash bash gods are with me this evening. Okay, that didn't take very long. Now look, I've got a bunch of detail in here. I don't know how clear we can see on this. What I've done is I've basically got my two shelves of workbenches with Clark on. I've got a bit from the ash waste thing hanging down here, some kind of pull down kind of juice extractor. We've got canisters of different stuff on here and a set of knives, a little kind of like grease gun here. This is the communicator that talks upstairs to the shop. Then on this bench over here we've got a gland, one of those Tyrannid gland sacks. I don't know where they still come with them, but that's being worked on at the moment. A different pot of different bits and pieces here. This is all kind of like little details that all add up to the chemist being able to work away extracted bits and pieces there. I don't really need to go much more overboard on that. I think that's going to work really, really nicely. That's all kind of like drying off, and now I need to hit the rest of that piece of terrain. So I'm going to have to get the baseboard back over here because everything else is stuck down. I've added another set of chains to the front of the shop here, and this is looking quite cool. And I think I found somewhere another bit of, well, I did have, I've lost it now, another barrier maybe to go on this side of the stairs, but we'll see how we go. So let's go and get the base unit, see if we can start doing something about that. Oh, then I'll get to something else that I found, but I've still got different bits and pieces I want to stick on and add to and make this. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's good fun because you're just getting all the tiny little bits of cloth and sticking them on and coming up with reasons for them being neat. I like it. Oh, here we go. So get rid of the lights for the moment. So again, not sticking this in, but that then slots back in place there because that goes on like that. And really I've got room here and here to do stuff, and I'm going to have some bits stuck down the floor, I think. So the salon, for lack of a better word, is going over here. Oops. So what I actually want, apart from anything else, is the odd cage or something. I like the idea of them having weird and wacky creatures that they're kind of like doing stuff to. The different creatures from the sump and elsewhere. One of the things I have got here, which I'm definitely going to use something of, I think, is some alien life forms which might be worth using, from Crooked Dice. If you've never come across them, Crooked Dice are a cool independent figure manufacturer. They make got a really cool project going on called Colony 87. Colony 87 is a sci-fi setting that they're working on, but they work with a bunch of university students to kind of like develop it each year. It's really, really neat. And these are some of the creatures from Colony 87. Don't know how, we can't really see them very clearly, but these are white metal, and I might stick some of them in a cage because, yeah, you know, this Escher, they're not going to be past a bit of vivisection, are they, really? So God knows what they are. They look like, yeah, little creatures, hedgehoggy type things in a pile. They need to be sat in a box one way or another, maybe even like that. One they could fit in, I don't know. But we need to have the things that the Escher scientists are kind of working on. Here's a resin kind of squiggly, diggly thing, bit kind of tyrannidy. Again, I think that might just be sat in an open box. I've got some old school ammo crates, so that kind of thing in a box where they could just dig into that and line on the floor. That's quite neat, I think. So yeah, we're getting there. I've lost my lid that had the chimney on. I could have sworn I'd made one with a bloody chimney, and I don't know what I've done with it now. Hey ho. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I hope this is what you had in mind, Will. Certainly where my bizarre mind has gone, anyway. We could have the odd workbench, I think, out here as well. Detailing coming on. Do I bother trying to put anything down on the floor? I don't think I will, actually, to be honest. I'm just going to use sand and other clot around about the place. But I can have a few bits and pieces piled up. That's the other key to this. I think the odd crate, the odd bit of junk, liquid and various other things. Yeah, we're kind of winning. We are kind of winning. Alright, change my mind. I'm putting some flooring in here. Not much, but enough to give me texture to work with. So it's not all just solid and not just junk. But it'll get sanded over anyway. Halloween by Tommy Johansson. Well, cover of Halloween's Halloween by Tommy Johansson, ex-Sabaton. Cool. I just realised is that I haven't got anything going up here to here or anywhere to get punters up to the salon. So what I have found is the remains of the stairs that I used in some of the sump models, the Playmobil stuff, which is fine. They'll actually work quite nicely because, I mean, they're quite big steps, but from a getting figures on point of view, it's an old school Necromunda figure. Look, they'll stand on there quite well, not too bad. So that's quite good. So I'm going to go with those. There's enough to say stairs there, and actually if I chop these little tabs off at the bottom, I'll stick on that and that'll go at quite a good height. And then, come on you so-and-so. Of course, the styrene, the plastic that they make Playmobil out of, is that bit more tough than workshop kit plastic. But, and then all we'll need is some kind of roof floor surface. That's going to go on here like that. I'm going to stick that on there now because I've put down the floor, which is cool. Got the stairs there. Yeah, look at that. Alright. They're going to go nicely now. I now need something on here that's going to act as the floor outside the shop, because that's all kind of like gubbins under there. Might be quite nice if there's something see-through. I know what I want, but I don't know if I've got any. I want one of those metal grids from the shop sprue, kind of fence type thing that you lash weapons and stuff up to. Or in this case, can go on the floor. Well, that I don't know what that's off. That's got to be part of the Promethean fuel kit. That might work. It's a bit on the small side. Could do something to cover up a bit more of that. I'll see if I can find the thing I'm looking for. Oh, it'd be good if I could, because I reckon it would fit on quite nicely. It's just, I've now got different cack in so many different places. It's untrue. And of course, it will all need clearing up. Oh, there we go. Stick those stairs down, that'll be good. And I'm probably going to have to call it a night because I've still got 2 days of being Father Christmas to go. Ho ho ho, representing the big man. Woohoo! At the old Royal Naval College in Greenwich. I'm having a great time this year. It's really cool. So yeah, like it lots. So let's stick that down and find that and see what we can do. Right. Okay, so this is the last bit before I go to bed tonight. One of the things I'm trying to achieve with this model, he says, smashing out. Let's pull that back over there. Oops. So one of the things I'm trying to achieve with this model is the level of detail that I've got on a lot of my other Pier Town scenery. I haven't built a model this detailed in some time, and although it's not going to end up on my table, it's going to go to one of my patrons. I really want this to be a saucy little kind of interesting model to look at and also to play on. I want it to have a really industrial vibe. So which is why I've gone for these kind of like chimney stacks here, and I'm going to add more to that, and we've got all these different bits going on here. But one of the things I really like the idea of, I'll turn it around this way, because it's all about chemicals, isn't it, Escher? So I'm going to put, instead of just having a walkway across here, which is a bit dull and a bit obvious because it's Necromunda, I've been fiddling around. I've got one of these Hadron Raider airship ball things, and that's got to be from a gun stock gun hauler or something. But I thought what would be really cool would be, oh, that makes a really nice chemical kind of like vat, and I've used those on other Necromunda models myself. So what I want to do, I've got this platform stand from the ash wastes, and I'm dry fixing this here, and I freaking lost a bit. Of course I have. Where's that fucking gone? Oh, for God's sake. God damn it. Oh, there it is. Right under my nose. So I'm dry fixing this platform stand from dry waste. Haven't glued any of it, but I'm thinking yes, look, it will sit perfectly on top of this roof, this walkway platform. What's even cooler is it doesn't even cover up the floor locking bits, clipping bits. So if we had any other bits you wanted to add on there and extend floors onto that, you could, which is cool because that one goes in there, and that one's got to be able to lift out, take the door out. But then that way there, that's got a really cool heavy industrial vibe. I obviously want to stick all this together. Gonna have to trim bits off here. Gonna have to trim bits off this walkway as well. But then I cut out the top, and tomorrow's job is then going to be to mount this chemical vat up on this corner of the installation. Now, it's obviously not going to do anything now because it's got this knobbly bit here. But I reckon if I cut that out, that will sit really nicely and support that there, and then I can have a few pipes coming out of this going down into. It's going to look really, really cool. Obviously not now because it needs sticking together, but you know. But that is tomorrow night's job. I'm happy with that. I've made quite a lot of progress this evening, and I'm bloody well going to bed because I've got to get up again at stupid o'clock, get into London, can't do the Father Christmas thing. Alright, so here's my tank stuck on my thing with the thing. That's pretty cool. I quite like that. And now needs, I think, some pipes coming out of here, one way or another. I did find an exhaust pipe, which is quite good. Actually, the exhaust pipe end of it, I think would actually work. Kind of attach the pipe to the tank somewhere, sticking out as a kind of like overflow. This is the cool bit. Kind of like the makeup as you go along and kind of not have to worry about explaining why anything works because it's kind of like sci-fi, so screw it. There's a round bit here, a little kind of glassy bit, which I think is actually gagging for that pipe there, and brilliantly that sits down there. So cut off. Yeah, see, that's cool. That'll stick on there. That'll stick on there. Whoa. Clip away a couple of bits. Clip, clip. Clip, clip. Glue on the top. Yeah. Glue underneath. Glue, glue. Stick on the model. Stick and leave to dry for a few minutes. Move on to something else. Come back to that in a moment. That's wicked. Cool, okay, so let's go over there. This is now looking good and solid. That could do with painting. I have to paint that separately. I dropped a bomb thing, but I found another one, so I'm going to hang up that. Cut the top off. I'm going to cut the top off this and think I'm going to make it slightly less bomby. Just have as a glass of that stuck on the wall. What I need to do is make these cages for these little gribbly things, and then I need some boxes with chemicals and stuff. I'm at that stage now with this model of just kind of like, you just find another bit and then you go, right, okay, I'm going to clip that on, I'm going to stick that on there, I'm going to stick that on there. So I've just found this bit of grill, which is from the Necromunda shop set. I was looking for this earlier and I'd kind of lost it, but now I've found it, which is good because this is going to be making up the floor immediately outside the door, the store of the salon. Of course, the hilarious bit about that is the fact that looking at all the boots that the Escher figures wear, they'd still never be able to walk on that crap. There needs to be something else that goes on it because they just fall through it. But so I might put the odd plate on top of that, but loads of layers. It's really kind of cool, interesting. So I think I'm going to use one or maybe even two of these from the Necromunda marketplace. I'm going to stick one up here on the edge of the shop. I'm going to use it as a shop sign, I think, so which would be quite cool. So I'm going to stick that on there, and that gives a bit of an end. But that'll be kind of neat. That'll kind of sit there, and we'll call it. That gives me somewhere where I can write the shop name, if nothing else, which is kind of neat. If you missed that, this hairdressing salon is going to be called A Cut Above the Rest. Because there's something about hair salons that have to go for some kind of pun or another.
So I'm liking that. I'm making sure very carefully that all my extra bits don't stick out over the edge of the board, so when it gets boxed up and packaged up it doesn't get broken. This is the kind of thing that will be vulnerable when travelling. So got to make sure A, it's well stuck down, and then B, we'll know that, you know, it won't be too difficult to repair, because fortunately it's past iron, so it's just going to get, you know, stuck back down. But yeah, good. Okay, so some ways I'm into the last stretch of this. I'm waiting for various things to go off glue wise. So while I do, I'm going to do is while I do this, I'm going to take some bits off. Oh shit, there's another bit. Oh well, look, there's a bit I was waiting for the glue to go off on. While I do, I think I'm going to sand the rest of this base. It's my best bit. That way it gives me one big step closer to actually getting this model finished. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the two big extractable bits, removable bits, back on the model for a moment, just to sit them in the place where they're supposed to go. That's the wrong way around. Well done, mate. Because if I do that, I'm going to draw around the bottom of them, he says, rolling across the office. Get a pencil or a pen. Draw around the base of them, because that's where I want any sand or glue to go. So here we go. I'll try and avoid getting glue in there. But I'm going to take it out because I've got a bit drying on that. And the same over here. What I want to be able to do is make sure I've got a decent kind of rectangle. In fact, that could all you can do with the cardboard bits stuck down. So those bits there, like that, drying off, I can now wield some Mod Podge on all these other bits and sand this. Alright, so here's my base. Here's my Mod Podge. Got two bits I don't want to get any glue on. The rest of it I could just liberally smear glue on. Doesn't matter if I go over too much over the bits of the cardboard tiles that are down. You know, so it's going on green because that was a dirty brush, which is fine. Around the edges there. Don't have to be too precise because I don't mind if there's bits that aren't covered in sand. Okay, they can just be grey or metallic or rock or whatever underneath anyway. So but this does gets a long way to getting thinking about this model being finished. Because as soon as this sand is down, it's done, I can start to A, paint it, and B, put stuff on top of it. The work benches and things like that. So nearly done really with this model, I suppose. Technically, it's going to be the first one of 2025. Wow, cool. I'm doing this painting of the glue on New Year's Eve. So. Good, looking good. So what we're going to do now is just going to pour on, stick that back in some water, get the glue out of the way. I'm just going to take handfuls of my medium, this stuff, and I'm just going to stick it on. Drop, 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 drop. There we go. Shake, shake. There we go. We instantly, now the floor is down, instantly start to get a kind of like feel that this model is nearly there now. And actually, I'm really pleased with this. I know I haven't got these elements stuck in place because, like I said, I want to paint them separately. But what I have got is a real kind of feel for this thing now. I've got plenty of playable space inside, nice platforms up top, bit of defensive bit here, funky bit of a kind of industry going on over here. The hairdressing salon is kind of neat. I like that very much. I've got some space down here that I'm going to stick some of these floating bits of terrain, like my brain squid in a vat that's going to go in here, and I've got a table down here which is going to have some kind of like experiment on it one way or another, or something being cut that's going to go in there, which is going to be cool, which will be nice because that will be cool feature there just inside the doorway. Spinning around this way, we're gonna down by underneath the shop here, we're going to use this barricade. It's going to go in the bottom there like that. I've managed to, I'll make some bits of rough flooring here that characters can stand on, not falling in the gap there. This is looking way cool. I mean, it's well solid this way. Anybody coming at it from here, solid door, walls, barrier, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is a mean looking piece of train. I'm well pleased with this. I'm almost tempted to get the kind of like some of the support stanchions out and see if I can, if they're tall enough to do that. But I quite like this chimney stack now. That's kind of cool. Lots of room to move figures around on. Apart from now, I'm at the point really where I've got to let the base go dry, and I've got to fiddle around with a couple of little details, but I'm nearly done with this now, because I could get to the point where I start to kind of overdo it, and I don't want to crowd out the model so we can't do too much, but there is tons of detail. I'm really pleased about it. So now we're going over for the last effort on the final details. And you pull out the organised drawers, and look what you get, people. You get things that say things like, can we see that? Hang on. Shrooms. And in here, there's a tiny sprue of resin mushrooms that I must have bought from God knows who. Green Stuff World, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But there, I totally need to pull those out, because we're going to have a whole kind of, yes. Thank you very much. I mean, there are giant ones in here as well, but they're not much use. But shrooms, definitely. I found some Skaven tails, plastic Skaven tails. Check them out, which are just perfect wormy, tentacly kind of things. They're going to go on that tabletop, on this tabletop, with a knife next to them, extracting nastiness out of that. I've got a drawer here that says rats and bats. She's got piglets in it as well. Nice. Another little kind of like creatures. Oh, there's another kind of iron set of deepkin fish. Look, they could be a kind of thing. I could use those maybe. There are, there's, I mean, a lot of this is fantasy, but spiders, lots of different, oh man, look, they're tiny. Oh look, I've got a whole, wow, when did I buy those? I don't remember buying those. Get off, can't get them out of the drop. Look, there's a whole host of spiders. They're mean, they're really cool. Resin cast spiders, printed, they're wicked. I need to get a couple of them. We could use some of those. Nice. There's a thing here that says foliage. What's in there? Oh, some pumpkin type things, and some plantage and leafage, and oh, this is too cool. Now see, this is, although I love digging for the cack, it's a lot easier when you just pull the cack out of drawers. It's really cool. I mean, by the time I got that one, hang on, let's take that out of the way. I'll lift this one up onto the table. I mean, there's not enough time in my life to organise all my cack, but this one is like crates and hatches and control panels. Interesting sci-fi clart. This has got kind of, I mean, Christ, it's got
tents in it and things. Actually, what I am going to do is sci-fi brick, sci-fi trim, glass drinking vessels, panels. One of the things I have found is a couple of video arcade machines. I'm going to make a new piece of terrain for my objective stuff. It's of course got my Star Wars Legion figures in it and bits and pieces too, but you know, I mean, there's so much stuff in here. It's like way cool. So yeah, let's do it. Right, let's do the final details on this model. For those of you who are wondering, yeah, right down the bottom here, you probably got to see it. It says GSW, Grease Stuff World. I must have bought these at a show in blisters, thinking, oh, they'll come in handy. Lo, they're gonna. I'm gonna have a little box of mushrooms. Okay. So, paste and undercoated. In fact, everything is undercoated, primed. I've also given everything pretty much a metallic dusting as well. So, here's the shop, the hairdressers. Top man actually found, got the suitable chair. So now I'm going to take all these individual bits and start painting, which is actually quite good. This is the most thought I've put into actually the construction of one of these things before painting, because it's cool. I'm going to be able to sit and hold just this one part and paint it, which means I can do a lot more detailed stuff to it before sticking it in and actually kind of making it a permanent part of the model, which I think is quite a cunning plan. I'm really pleased with that. Same with the actual salon itself. It's a lot easier to handle one piece like this than it is to handle the entire base. And then the rest of the base I can paint, you know, even these bits come apart and I'll be sticking it in and now and that way there. That'll give me a lot more room to manoeuvre. So I've undercoated my thing in my crate, my shrooms, and there is paint. Oh, and the little work table with the tentacles on it as well. So I'm going to paint those individually, stick it all together. We're nearly done. Excellent. Alright, we're into the painting process now. I'm having a great time. You know how much I love this bit of it, but it is starting to come to life. I have basically so far just chucked loads of different metallic paints at the individual elements. I started to add a bit of colour as well, a bit of Dark Angels Caliban green on here. Starting to rough out the grey on the base, and we're seeing where the different bits get to. So I'm going to take out these different elements, whoops, and paint those. But what I'm doing right now is actually I'm just doing these two boxes, especially this one, when we kind of like brains thing in it, because I want to paint this and then fill it full of liquid, put resin in it. So that's the next job. So I'm taking it's going to be purple. Don't know why. I just need a suitable brush. I'm going to slap some purple paint onto it and see where we go from there, really. Woohoo! Now, I'm not generally going to make a video of me painting this model. There are 6 squillion billion better painters out there in the YouTube land who do a better job than me, so you don't need to see me slapping paint on things. But just to prove that I do, here is a paintbrush, here is some paint, there is some water, there is some paint, there's a bit of paint on the palette, there's a bit of paint going on the model. Look at that. Oh shit, zoom in on the detail, the exciting detail of Tim painting a bit of model. So yeah, this thing, don't know what it is, some kind of gribbly from the swamp, from somewhere. It's been dragged up, bred, kept, whatever. It's going to be kept in a tank of some form of liquid, because it will look cool. It'll be a nice little thing. And well, actually the most important bit right of this now is getting it painted, getting it dry, so I can pour the resin into it. Doing this super early in the overall paint job, because I want the resin to go off by the time the rest of the model was painted. So I'm giving the whole thing a purple coat. I'm almost certainly doing it wrong, because I'm painting onto a black undercoat with just a layer paint. What's it called? I can't remember.
Xeris Purple. There you go. I'm going to do some dry brushing on the top bit of the body in a little while, and I'm going to make the tentacles a bit more pink and kind of tentacly. And then I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to go pick up my daughter from her work. Going to let it dry and then fill it full of resin. And let that dry, and then hopefully that will sit there. This kind of weird thing that they're kind of extracting juice from. There you go, purple, look, cool. Yeah, that's it. Well, you know, I don't think you get too excited about that. The rest of this model is going to rely an awful lot on metallic paint and dirty down rust. Go pick out some details and see where we are, really. So, yeah, good luck. I'll come back. I might show you the odd bit of the process as we go. But really, like I said, isn't that exciting? Not with my paint. Functional, I describe my painting as. Right? Kind of like purpley bits, lighter purpley bits. Yeah, you know. So now I've got quite a bit of colour onto this. I don't want to go massively overboard on the colour. There are a couple of processes that I need to do before I get close to calling this model finished. The first thing I need to do is add the weathering. And of course, to add weathering in Necromunda, we're going back to one of my favourite products in the world, Dirty Down Rust. So, I'm going to give this a good squirt. I'm going to find a brush and I'm going to rust up the floor, the various kind of like panels on the side, the walkways, the chimneys. And then I can get on to some other fine detail kind of added stuff, which is cool. Okay. So, get the lid off. I can't get the lid off. Seriously, can't get the lid off. Pair of pliers to lid. There it is. Need to apply this to something. It needs a little squirty lid. Has it got a squirty lid? It needs a little squirty lid on the top, really. Still, what we're going to pour it into, we need to pour it into a thing. We could pour it into the lid, I suppose. I think that's why it's kind of like sealed up. I probably do. Okay, here we go. Let's apply Dirty Down Rust. See what it does. Putting it on pretty heavy here around the chem pipes. Okay, next part. Now I've got plenty of rust on there, which is all looking pretty cool. I've got to finish painting this barricade behind you. Ubiquitous Orlock has come to visit. Yay! The next bit for finishing details has got to be, the rest is nearly gone off in all of that, has got to be add posters. I was looking at my Necromunda train the other day, and there's loads of posters on them, and I really love adding posters to Necromunda terrain. It's great. Now they come from various places. Oh, it's got some B&B ones in there. Let's take those out. And I can't find all the files. There are loads of posters on the different Necromunda groups on Facebook, which are way cool. Check them out. Go and find in your group sections. Go into files and then go and search for posters. These posters are from the really cool Necromunda group that I love being part of, called Sump City Radio, which is a UK-based group where they have games that are played on the Sump and in Sump City, which is Sump City Radio is also, of course, the home of the awesome Sump City Radio podcast as well, which is, check it out. A very nice chap I know called Steve Uden, who I met through cosplaying Judge Dredd. Oh God, nearly 10 years ago now. Runs this amazing podcast. So do check out Sump City Radio, and these posters are on the Sump City Radio Facebook group. And I'm assuming,
because this has got some City Radio poster on it as well. These are too. So check these out. So I'm going to use some of these, but I've also sat and printed some of these off. These are Nagel bits of artwork. This is where part of the conversation came with Will about what we were going for. If you don't know, if you're not old enough to know, this is artwork from the 1980s, and this is the cover of Rio by Duran Duran, right? And this is the kind of thing that we were talking about, Will and I, when we were talking about Escher, what that looked like. So I'm going to put a bunch of Nagel artworks inside the hairdressers itself, and I'm going to put some other posters on the outside. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out with a scalpel, stick them on, and then I'm probably going to put some sepia or Agrax shade ink on top of them and rip them up in places as well. And we're going to have various bits of poster posted around a cut above the rest. Yes, let's do that. So find a scalpel, get cutting out some posters. It just adds that extra level of detail that I really like. It's really cool from a kind of lived-in, kind of grimy underhive feel, which is kind of like neat. Then at some point I've got to decide how much of this I'm going to stick down, but I've got one more level of detailing that I want to add. I haven't yet stuck on the actual hair salon or this section down here. I'm almost tempted, my thinking is to not stick this bit in. Actually have it so it's removable, which might actually open up the board piece and make it have a different playable experience, which might be kind of cool. So I'll have to see what I do with that. That will affect what I do, I think, with the other small pieces of terrain here, which were going to be stuck on the brain thing in the goo, and the little box of shrooms of different colours, and the table with the tentacles and the goo. I was going to stick them in permanently, but what I might actually end up doing is just giving those to Will as scatter terrain, and he could use those around the piece of scenery as he sees fit. Anyway, let's cut up some posters and see where that gets us. Right, now the final thing I want to do, now I've got my posters on, I've got posters on the ceiling, then I've got posters, is I want to put some light on this. First thing I think I'm actually going to have to do is stick down the hair salon, get that totally in place. Then I'm going to use a bottle garland. I've decided not to use the other LEDs that I was waving around earlier in the previous video. I'm going to use a bottle garland. I think I'm going to stick it in. I can leave this lid, I'll stick that down, but I'm going to leave the chimney lid removable from here. That means I could take that out and you can switch that light easy. The nice thing about this is the fact that the wire will just come out the side, and then I'm going to wrap it around various bits so we can see where it goes. And that's going to be cool, because that will actually look just like lights that are going to have. So it's going to run from here into the hairdressers, backwards around there and out again, then possibly back across somewhere else. I think I'm going to stick this bit down, not sticking this walkway down, because that will prevent the removal of the door. Which is down here. If that's walkway stuck down, you won't be able to get that door in and out. So I want to be able to have that playability of having that door there. So this walkway isn't going to get stuck down, but it does lock in nicely onto that. So that needs sticking on. That needs sticking on. This needs sticking in place. There's the next bits. This I don't think I necessarily am going to. I'll leave it like this, and then it can be taken off nice and easy. Got a couple of details, paint-wise, to add to that. So let's stick bits of model in place. First of all, let's commit. Come on, let's commit to actually sticking our hairdressing salon in place. Now that is in place. The bottle garland is going to sit inside here. It's going to come out. It's going to
I need to give this time to glue, for the glue to go off. First of all, just going to do that like that. A bit of super glue is probably going to be my best bet. Okay, so that's it done. Actually, let me just lean in here and turn the lights on. I'll turn the studio lights off for a minute, see if that makes a difference. Lights. You see those little lights, they're cute. Hang on. Let's see what difference it makes if I turn off the lights actually in here. Yeah, kind of lights. Hang on. Look, cute. Now, obviously, you know, they're not bad from a size of game point of view. But actually, what we've got is let's lift it up here. We got lights down underneath in the workshop area, and lights outside in the courtyard area, and there's also lights in the hairdressers as well. I'm well pleased with that. That's worked out okay. I mean, it's no flipping use for a video point of view, so let's turn the odd studio light back on. There we are. So this then is the finished model, well, it's not true. I've actually got to paint a little bit around the side, but there we go. This is what it looks like. I hope you're happy with this, Will. We've got then, as requested, salon. Shit, I just realised there's no chair in the goddamn salon. Where is it? Here it is. I might even have to paint it. Place that in there. Yeah, nice. That works. We'll get a little video shot in for a doorway there. Not painted for the point at the end of this, but it will be when it's done. But salon with Nagel artwork, and this is where the tattooing and the hairdressing goes on. It's called a cut above the rest, as per the label there. Then over the back down here, we've got where it all happens from an Escher point of view, their little chem lab. It's got various bits of scatter terrain in here. Here's the googly brain tentacle thing in kind of like the liquid it's been kept in, all in resin. That resin's still going off a little bit, and it's a really bloody annoying bubble in there I still haven't got rid of. Plus mushrooms, all various colours and tentacles are being cut up. These I have done all as bits of scatter terrain. I'm not sticking these on permanently. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a base on the bottom of this piece, because it's made from 2 tank wheels from 40k tanks, and it's not very stable. If it was being stuck down, it'd be fine, but I'm going to stick another plate on the bottom to keep that and make that more stable. But then we've got our work space going on over there. Let's see if we can drop the camera down. We've got our workspace going on back there, which is kind of cool. Workbenches and tools and various things where they're extracting chemicals. We've got this strange chemical dome come thing up here, and we've got a steel bubbling away back down here, and we've got no painted Eschers, so the only figures you're seeing appearing in this model are Orlocks. My apologies. The door lifts out, the bits come off, the chimney up here. The chimney on the stack is the bit that lifts out that allows us to turn our lights off. That gives us access to our bottle garland batteries. Nice and easy if they run out and he needs to replace those. And that just sits on there. I really like this model from a playability point of view. It's proper Necromunda in that it's got... I love the fact that it's got lots of levels, platforms, ladders, ways up and down. It's kind of cool. This side of it is pretty formidable. Anybody who's attacking here, they're going to be up against it. can easily place the odd bit of terrain on it, but it's really open from over here. This side, again, it's a bit like a fortress really. This door we can lift out, this platform comes out. I have kept, like I said I was going to, this section removable. I quite like this because it means that actually the model is more usable that way. It could be taken out and used for a different game, different scenario, different way of playing, which means that there's a bit more flexibility in the use of the model, which is kind of cool. I like that as an idea. So yeah, all in all, I really like this. I would happily add this section, board section, to my own game table, but it wasn't my idea. So it's going to the guy who came up with the idea. So Will, I hope you like this. This is for you. I hope the move goes well, and all is good. Yes.
Okay, so that's it. Here we have it. One Escher hair salon, tattoo parlour, come chem lab, all in one go. The hair salon, of course, is called A Cut Above the Rest, and I'm quite pleased with this. I really enjoyed making this model, so thanks for the idea, Will. Lots of details gone into it. I could have spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours painting it, but actually, do you know what? I'm going to make the fellow who's getting it do some of the work himself. There's plenty on here. You could totally put this on a tabletop straight away and it will look great, but you could also spend absolutely ages picking out all the fine details. And were I doing this for a commission piece and somebody's paying me a load of money, then I probably would. But I'm not. I'm doing it for free because it was a Patreon build. If you fancy getting yourself a piece of Magathea Builder World scenery made for you, then all you need to do is join my Patreon. That's right, at patreon.com/Magathea Builder World. Either of the paid level, either the Ford or the Prefect paid levels, Magathea Builder Worlds could get you into the big scenery competition whenever that happens. And to do that, then all you have to do is come up with an idea for any game system that will be on a 12 by 12 by 12 board section, and the one I like the idea of, the sound of, the look of, I'll make and then give it to you. You know, because that's what I do. If you are on the, if you're a Prefect member, you can also enter the objective competitions whenever they happen as well. These are small pieces of scenery, 4 inches by 4 inches. This is one that I'm working on at the moment, which is a sci-fi necromunda cyberpunk one, a Jew's hangout really. It's got arcade machines and kind of like dispensing machines and things. And these come up irregularly. I was trying to do them every month, but life just gets in the way. But whenever these happens, Prefect members can also compete for these, and you compete for these by just writing to me and telling me how you'd use it in a game. And the one I like the most, I'll give away, again, a piece of scenery. So my Patreon builds are great fun, and they often give me a different thing to look at and a different kind of like game system or kind of like a new challenge for modelling. So they're a lot of fun. And this is then the first build that I've completed in 2025. It started before Christmas, in fairness. I was kind of ill over Christmas and didn't get a chance to finish it, and now we are into January. It's about the 10th of January now. I'm recording this, so this is the first build done. I was going to do a whole retro, this is what I did in 2024 and here goes, this is what's coming in 2025, but I just haven't had time. And if I'm going to put out another video, I want to put out another video of me building stuff and making stuff. The big news is, from our point of view, my point of view, is that coming up the next big series of videos, apart from the meta series, which we're making another video for, about how we game and why we game and what's good about gaming, that kind of thing. The next build series is going to be called, actually, The Road to Salute, and to achieve that, I am in kind of like enrolling my mates who I wargame with, the Spirit of the Game guys. They're the guys who come to Salute and other game shows with me anyway, to help me build some of the terrain and bits and pieces for this, because we've got a pretty big project going on. But then there's going to be all sorts of other stuff in 2025 as well. I now have enough figures to play all of the Scour and the Shire for Middle-earth, so I'm going to be building some Shire scenery, and that's going to get my Middle-earth scenery and Middle-earth juices flowing and underway. And then there's other stuff I want to do. I might even dive into the new War the Rohirrim box set, but you know, we'll have to see about that. I've also got a whole load of Carnivale buildings done in MDF now, and I am going to do a video about improving those and making those look right on my tabletop, because I want to get playing Carnivale as well. I have definitely decided one thing. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy new toys this year, and I'm not going to add to the pile of shame, because I almost certainly am. I'm buying Star Wars stuff. I've got Star Wars stuff underway. I'm painting that and having Star Wars stuff painted, which is cool. I'll be playing, well, probably my own Star Wars skirmishy game. We'll get to that, but I've got all kinds of things around there. But what I am definitely aiming to do this year is to take a lot of the stuff that's in these crates over here, and turn them into stuff to use, and outside, in all the junk outside, and things like the tabletop scenery crate, which is down, oh no, up there. I bought a whole load of tabletop world scenery a year or so ago, just because I had the money, because I inherited a load of money. I've always wanted tabletop world scenery, and it's just sat in a box, so I'm definitely doing something with that. It's going to become part of my Lord of the Rings collection, actually. So there are going to be various things going on, but first of all, the Road to Salute, which is going to involve Boroughs and Badgers and Judge Dredd, because we're going to be playing Dredd and Boroughs and Badgers at Salute, not at the same time, mind you. It's not going to be like Boroughs and Judges or something, or Judges and Badgers. We're going to have two separate games, but we've got a lot to be getting on with that. So please do stick around in 2025. If you liked this build, make sure you like down below and click and comment and subscribe and do all that stuff, because I love having those conversations if you like that. If you can think of other stuff you think to make for a Necromunda, then go right ahead and tell me there as well. Thanks for watching this Magathea Builder of Worlds video. I hope you join me and stay with me on my journey in wargaming in 2025. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh yeah.